never hit that note.
It's really early in the morning, so you probably can't hit that note.
I'm not sure that's the reason, but I'll take it. We are heading to Universal today because we have two
special things that are happening. Special vlog, yay!
Cheer noises.
One reason is because today we personally are celebrating Universal Studios' 30th anniversary. Yay!
Yay! Cheer noises.
We're going to be going to the parks and looking at literally everything in Universal Studios, comparing it to when it first opened to now. Second thing, we are celebrating a milestone, our first milestone on our channel, and that is not just 100 subscribers, but 200 subscribers! Yay!
Yay! Cheer noises!
We did it! So we want to thank you so much for watching our reopening video at Team Member Preview, because that actually boosted us up a lot, and we really, really, really want to say thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. It really helped us feel like we were actually making good content, and we were excited to put out more of that content for everybody.
Because Jack, we gotta go back.
Gotta go back where?
Back to the
past. But then we'll go back to the future. So it'll work out in the end. So don't worry about it. We'll see you at Universal.
And if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell to see when we post our videos. See you at Universal. Universal Studios!
Here we are. As you can see, we are outside of Studios right now.
We got our drinks.
We got our drinks. So this is the beginning of the day, and we're going to start out here in City Walk. Like I said, here we are out in City Walk, and as I am sure many of you know, City Walk wasn't here 30 years ago. Where we are stood right now was a parking lot, believe it or not, and you would park right outside, all the way where we are stood, as you can see in the picture. Very interesting. Next is the Globe. Obviously, the Globe, most of you know, and probably only know this as the Globe, but we did used to have the Globe that is now over in Universal Studios in Hollywood, and this Globe was actually all the way over here, right here. As you can see in the picture, lines up perfectly. The old metal silver Globe we had is now over at Universal Studios in Hollywood.
So back when Universal first opened, these arches were actually white. And now look at them.
They're all gold, which I imagine is to kind of match the new Globe that they fitted back then as well. So it all kind of matches. Like I say, there used to be a silver Globe and white to silver arches. So it kind of fits a little bit better this way. And they're a lot more grand than the old arches as well, as you can see. So this is the first day I've actually noticed they have park maps. Usually they've taken them out, but now they have them back today. We are out here outside of Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. This used to be, back on opening day, the fantastic world of Hanna-Barbera?
Hanna-Barbera?
I am sorry, we are butchering it. We were not born in that generation, unfortunately.
But what was it?
It was very, very similar to the kind of shows that came here after it, like Minions and Jimmy Neutron. It was a very indoor theater kind of show with a moving room.
So yeah, like what you said, but what characters could you see in it?
There was many other characters. I'll pop up a picture right about here. There was people like Scooby-Doo. I believe SpongeBob was also in it, which is kind of interesting to me.
SpongeBob was in that, or he was in, I think he was in the Jimmy Neutron one. In 2003, this ride changed to Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius.
Yep.
Which was, we could feature all the characters such as Timmy Turner, Jimmy Neutron, SpongeBob, a whole bunch of Nickelodeon characters. Yep. And then in 2011,
we got Despicable Me. which since then did start off as 3D and is now back to 2D officially as of right now.
And right across the way,
oh, right here, we have Shrek 4D.
So before we had Shrek 4D, I don't know if anybody remembers, it was Alfred Hitchcock, The Art of Making Movies, which was a show.
Yes, it was like a sit-down show where they would show you the production and how they would go about filming things. Back in the day, a lot of the attractions here at studios was along those lines, where they would show you how they made movies, things like that. Nowadays, it's more riding the movies than watching them be filmed. That closed in 2003 and was replaced by Shrek, which still stands to this day, 17 years later. So
17.
It's doing well. Let's keep moving. We are now outside of Monsters Cafe and the Donkey and Fiona meet and greet, which is right over here, just by Transformers. This, back in the day, used to actually, it first opened as the MCA recording studio, which again was an example of how they record and how they film and things like that. But then that was later closed in 1996 and replaced by Stage 54. As you can see from this picture, was a giant soundstage full of props from many, many movies, including Jurassic Park. A lot of these props can be seen around the parks now, over in Islands of Adventure and other places. Me personally, this is one of my sad moments because I think that would be a really, really cool thing to see. Stage 54 was closed in 2003 and reopened for the Donkey Meet and Greet and Monsters Cafe in 2004. Over here in the Music Plaza was another prop-centered attraction, and it was called the Boneyard. The Boneyard was full of, once again, props from movies like Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, Terminator, and pretty much every Universal movie you could think of. It was here all the way up until 2008 and was replaced with a seating area and a stage.
For all the concerts that we have from Mardi Gras and all that stuff.
Mardi Gras, Rock the Universe, and everything above. Here we are by Jimmy Fallon, and before Jimmy Fallon was around, there was a little show over here called the Ghostbusters. And me personally, I don't believe I ever got to see this show. I did come here when I was a child. I was only 4 years old. But I do have some pictures, and I do remember the Ghostbusters being out here when I was a kid. As you can see here, Universal loves to do these little throwbacks to extant attractions. And as you can see, it says Engine 89, which you can see in the picture is the same engine company of the Ghostbusters. And on this side, it even says the word paranormal. Look at that. It's beautiful. As you can see from some of these pictures, this is exactly where the Ghostbusters was located. The sign was just up here, and the Ghostbusters used to come out here and do some meet and greets. I do have a picture of Beetlejuice over here as well, because Beetlejuice used to get involved, and they also had a little stage show over here that they would do, I believe slightly after Ghostbusters closed in 1996. Ghostbusters closed in 1996 and was replaced by Twister, Ride It Out, in 1998, which then closed and Jimmy Fallon reopened in 2015, which is where we are now. Back when the park first opened in 1990, this used to be Confrontation, as you can see from the picture. Over here in front of the Mummy, we used to have a locker system, and you could see the queue was going all the way out the front doors. Nowadays we have the lockers over here on the left inside the Paradise Theatre. And you can also see in one of these pictures is a big advertisement for Islands of Adventure opening in 1999 here on the left as well.
I never got to ride Confrontation, but I heard it was cool because it had 2 giant animatronic monkeys.
Yes, I'm still uncertain if I rode it or not. I need to ask my parents as I was 4 at the time. But I do remember looking at it from the outside at the very least. I was very young.
So for anybody that didn't know this Easter egg, right over here by the Ben & Jerry's is Hudson Street Home for Girls, and that is an homage to the movie Annie. So if you ever watch that, you'll get this reference.
While we're on the topic of movies being filmed here, right behind us, as you can see behind me, these buildings were actually used, and they used this street to film the ending of one of the Final Destination movies. So look out for it and you'll recognize this backdrop and the river slightly behind as well. Also, oh, we got new shirts. Victoria got the team member one for the 30th anniversary, and then I got the one that's available to guests, which has all the opening day attractions. And I think they're amazing.
So let's turn back time.
Wish I could turn back time.
Everybody really remembers this plaza as the Beetlejuice show plaza. The fountain, I think. There was a fountain.
I believe that fountain is the original fountain. I have a picture of that fountain that
we'll put it here and we'll see the difference of it.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that was outside of Beetlejuice. I don't think it was outside of the original attraction that was here.
Yeah,
which
that one kind of like hurts my soul because that show was everything. I love singing and dancing and everything theatrical. So Beetlejuice was like one of my favorite attractions here. But let's go even further back than that. What was before Beetlejuice?
So before Beetlejuice, the first opening day attraction over here, believe it or not, was a children's based show on Fievel, which was very interesting to me as we obviously have Fievel over in the kids zone. But the opening day attraction was called An American Tale Theater, and it was based on the Fievel children's cartoon. It didn't last very long. It only lasted 2 years and was quickly replaced by the Beetlejuice Graveyard Revue.
Oh.
And that was here for much longer. It closed in 2016. So that show lasted over 20 years,
but
believe it or not.
It's been replaced with Fast and Furious Supercharged.
Correct. That was replaced in 2016. Fast and Furious opened in 2018.
But not only did Fast and Furious replace Beetlejuice, it also replaced one of my other favorite attractions. Whichever you call it, earthquake, disaster, whatever you call it, it's about the same show with some different show effects and acting in it. So if y'all remember, Earthquake was an opening day attraction, and before it used to have like giant letters here saying Earthquake, and then the queue would go all the way inside this building, which is now the gift shop to Fast and Furious, and then you would enter right over here and they have a bunch of scenes, and when you get onto the ride there's like a whole subway scene, which is very similar to the Fast and Furious bus scene, where you look like you're in a subway and the walls are moving past you.
True.
It's very similar. And then after that, Disaster opened in 2008, and that's what replaced big letters over here, Disaster. The only real change was, I think, Christopher Walken made an appearance in Disaster as a hologram slash host. I don't know if that was Disaster or Earthquake, but we'll fix that right here.
They're all getting mixed together at this point.
Yeah, and The Rock was also featured in Disaster.
Yes.
And he made an appearance, but now he's also featured in Fast and Furious,
That's
so you can
true.
see him again.
He replaced his own attraction.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
The Rock is still at Universal Studios. We love that.
And then Disaster lasted all the way up until 2015.
Yeah.
Which it was then closed to make way for Fast and Furious, which opened in 2018. So that was a 3-year gap. Fast and Furious obviously replaced Disaster as well as Beetlejuice's Graveyard Revue. So 2 for 1.
I really miss Disaster. It had that same theme as like Twister with the whole natural disaster aesthetic. With those natural effects and the water and the fire, and insert water and fire here. Hi, sorry. Richter's Burger Company, if you didn't know, is an homage to Earthquake. the old earthquake ride, you can still get the aftershock burger.
A rib to scale if you prefer grilled chicken. Victoria's scared of the shark. Just careful, it might bite your head off. No? No, you're scared. It's actually dripping water.
I know! Watch out, it's gonna close on your head.
This is saliva, look at it.
Do you still have like a little fear that it's gonna like close? It's weird. It's like it's freshly caught.
Yeah, right? It's kind of bizarre that it's dripping. I'll see this.
You see how fresh this shark is? It's still dripping water.
Yeah, they just caught him fresh. That's crazy.
Bruce.
So we're still over here by the Alcatraz bar.
This is unfortunately the only like homage that we see today of Jaws.
Oh, or is it?
Or is it?
Or is it?
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun dun dun. There's actually two more that I will show you.
I didn't know that.
Yes, there is two more. But quick update on the bar. We spoke to Murph. We saw him. We saw the one and only Murph.
We're gonna see him later.
Yes, they open at 12, which makes sense. We did think maybe it was a bit too early for the bar to be open. So 12 o'clock, the bars are now opening. So over in San Francisco, used to be the good old world of Amityville. Insert clip right here. I'm going to show you Amityville. What's Amityville? Amityville is the area, the town, the seaside town where all of this went down. And there is three things, including the shark, to show you. One is just in front of us. So walking just onto the border of London here in Harry Potter. Two of the, I don't know if you want to call them Easter eggs, but they are little nods or areas left behind from Jaws. One is right behind me, one's right in front of me. So I'm going to show you in a sec. Let's have a look. We are over here just inside, or just outside, should I say, of London.
London?
London! And here's King's Cross, and just to the side of King's Cross, you can just see it there, I'll get you a better shot, is the Amity Island Lobster Company. And it is just sitting there, all pretty, for anybody looking for it. And then just to the left of that, over here on the side of Lombard's, in this window, is once again another little Easter egg. Amity Ship Fitters and Riggers. So over here in Amityville, 30 years ago, Jaws used to reside right here, and the track was all the way around the back inside Diagon Alley, as you can see in this picture. But fun fact not many people know about Jaws, when it opened on opening day, they had a lot of issues, so they had to close the ride and pretty much rebuild it due to the issues. But Jaws after that went on and survived all the way through till 2012, which it was then replaced by Diagon Alley in 2014, which is obviously what still stands today and probably for the foreseeable future.
So if you ever noticed in Grimwald's Place, the discoloration of the buildings, and if you're a Harry Potter fan, you know why that is, because it's where the buildings split apart in the movie and reveal where the Order of the Phoenix gather / Sirius Black's house. But if you ever notice over here by Charing Cross Road, there's also a discoloration on this building, and people of magic can see it and notice that there's something a little bit off about this building as well. If you take a closer look on a very, very faded sign, the Leaky Cauldron, which actually we took a vote to, yesterday on where we should eat today between Finnegan's, Confisco, and Leaky Cauldron, because I've never eaten at any of them. So of course the public voted Leaky Cauldron is where we're going to be eating. Should have known that any Harry Potter place would have won that poll.
As you can see, we don't have any prices on the menu because everything is ordered through the app. We sat down,
I'm excited.
we ordered our food,
I'm excited.
and it will be delivered.
I'm excited.
And Victoria's excited.
I can touch the cold
I'm hungry.
You're hungry?
I'm thirsty.
I wasn't hungry, but now looking at all the foods, I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too. So we are here in the Leaky Cauldron. We have plenty of food to show. I have the beef and lamb and Guinness stew with a bread bowl. It actually smells really, really good. Victoria over here. What do you have, Victoria?
I have the banger sandwich.
The banger
It looks really good.
It has
So it's sausage with, I believe it's like an onion slaw.
Yeah.
Fries and
A crusted baguette.
a baguette, tomato, and mustard.
Yes.
And then I had to order the Scotch eggs. I never had them before.
So I grew up with Scotch eggs. So it'll be interesting to see what these taste like in comparison. I'm not sure what that is in the middle. That is an apple beet salad with mustard sauce.
Oh, interesting.
Which sounds a little bit scary to me.
I like beets and apples.
We'll give it a go.
No. I don't think I'm gonna have to cut it.
Okay. So after a bit of deconstruction, we have cut it in half, and Victoria's gonna go for it.
Alright, it's hot. I didn't think I was gonna like the slaw, but it kind of makes it.
Yeah?
Yeah. And the mustard, like a Dijon mustard.
Yeah.
Really good. Sausage, really good. Yeah, no complaints.
Okay.
My
First Scotch egg. Let's see how this
Scotch
goes.
egg. I'm gonna dip it because I guess that's how you're supposed to.
Okay. Oh, there goes the yolk.
Fail.
The Scotch egg.
Right, we got it.
Go for it.
Take 100.
Right. Start again.
Right. Here we go.
It's very interesting, right?
I don't like that sauce.
No?
At all.
I wouldn't personally eat the sauce. I would just eat the Scotch egg by itself.
Try that again.
Yeah.
The sauce is very strong. I don't even know what the taste is. But here we go.
Better.
This alone is good.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never ate Scotch eggs with sauces, especially a mustard sauce.
I
So.
put way too much sauce on it. And I don't even know if it's mustard. If it's mustard, it's like more like a vinegary mustard.
Yeah, it says mustard sauce.
Yeah. It's very, very, very strong.
I'm gonna try and get a bit of meat in it. I mean, it tastes like stew. A little bit.
But it's lamb, so it's probably more gamey than beef.
I mean, it's good for a theme park stew, I would say.
Interesting.
Because you don't get stews and things
park.
like that in theme parks. So, and this is technically classed as a quick service on the Universal app. So, for quick service food, it's not half bad. It's definitely not my mum's stew though. Shout out to my mother. Looking over at Krusty Land, which, as you all know, used to be the Back to the Future ride. Back to the Future wasn't actually an opening day attraction. It opened in 1991, but it was close enough. And during the opening year, they were advertising it here in the park, which I'll show you some pictures of. But it is very interesting to see what it turned into. So next stop is Men in Black.
Alien attack.
Alien attack. But again, this was not an opening day attraction. But before that, it was the set of the Swamp Thing, which was on the backlot tour. I was unable to find any pictures of the Swamp Thing set, as it's basically just trees. But this is where it was, all the way back in the back. But
You said it was a studio lot tour?
yes, studio lot tour. It didn't last very long. It lasted about 5 years. It closed in 1995. It did do a short trip through the front of the park as well. So back when the park first opened, there was a stunt show over here on the water. It was called the Dynamite Nights Stunt Spectacular. Universal like using the word stunt spectacular.
Stuntacular.
Stuntacular. It's been merged over the years. But this show lasted all the way through to the year 2000. As you can see over here by the front of the Simpsons ride, this right here is where the entrance to Back to the Future was. You can see the sign is about right where the Simpsons sign is right now. So Yeah. Over here this is where Krusty the Clown and the Simpsons guys do their meet and greet. This is actually where the promotional sign was for Back to the Future before it opened in 1991.
Honestly, I think that this is my new favorite seating area just to relax in the park. Like, this is, again, right across from Animal Actors. A whole bunch of tables and seats, and there's fans all above us, keeping us cool. It's nice.
Yeah, it's a very, very humid day today. But on the topic of Animal Actors, it is, in fact, one of the 3 opening day attractions here at Universal Studios. Most people think it's just E.T. because E.T. is technically the only ride. There is 4 opening day attractions / shows that are still existing since day 1. And Animal Actors is one of them. It did originally open as the Animal Actors Stage, it was called, and that closed in 2001 and was replaced by Animal Planet Live.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that show, Animal Planet Live.
Yeah, that actually lasted for 5 years.
Yes, I remember
It lasted all the way through to 2006 and was finally replaced by what we have now, Animal Actors Live. So,
see the doggies.
yes, they're going to be very similar shows with animal tricks and things like that. So it is still here all the way through. There's always been rumors of it going away, but it plows on through every year.
Just like E.T.
Just like E.T.
in there and
just like Fear Factor.
Planted in the ground, ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to ride the one ride that started it all.
E.T. As you can see from all of our pictures, it was very busy back in the day.
Five Playland's still here.
Yes, but on the floor you can see all these holes for stanchions when the ride used to be very, very busy.
Oh, I remember
They go
those days.
all the way back over there. Obviously that doesn't happen these days, but it's very interesting to see how crazy it could get back when this was
first opened.
Yeah, a very big attraction back in the day.
I remember waiting in that line when I was little.
Yeah, not me.
Barney actually wasn't here with the opening day, but before that was the Bates Motel attraction.
Yes, and just behind the Bates Motel attraction, where Curious George is just down the street, we'll show you. No. It's kind of crazy to think though that where this playground was a murderer's mansion.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
And then they built a children's play area on it. It's kind of insane.
Oh, it still says hotel over there. So it's not the Bates Motel, but there is a pink hotel over there.
So the Bates Motel was actually on the site of Barney. It was an opening day attraction and was there for all the way through till 1995. And I believe the last 2 years of operation it was actually used for a HHN house, Halloween Horror Nights house. Psycho House, which was slightly behind the Bates Motel, as you can see in these pictures, was open for slightly longer, and it was open until 1998, which it was then closed to build the Curious George play area, which is, it's kind of strange that 2 horror movie attractions was closed to open children's play areas. But it was an odd choice in the first place to have Fievel's Playland right next to the Bates Motel, in my opinion. So it's kind of interesting to see how this area laid out. Wait.
It's gonna rain.
The horror makeup show was once again another opening day attraction here at Universal.
It's currently under refurbishment, so it's not open today, but...
Yes, the entrance has moved from over here because they are doing meet and greets over here, and the main entrance is now what was the exit. But yes, once again, this was an opening day attraction, but it was called the Phantom of the Opera Horror Makeup Show, which is Victoria's favorite.
It's my favorite musical ever!
They also did have a horror makeup store, which is obviously where the Jason Bourne store is now. That store closed in 1996, which is when they opened the Terminator show just down the street. So this store then turned into the Terminator store, and the horror makeup store was kind of mixed in, which is kind of what it is now. There's a lot of Universal Monsters merchandise mixed in with Jason Bourne merchandise. So it's still a little bit mixed. Originally on this street corner was Murder, She Wrote, which was once again another stage show demonstrating how episodes and movies and things like that are made and filmed. Here are some clips from the show if you are interested. This show closed in 1996 and was replaced by Hercules and Xena. Sorry if I butchered that. But that reopened in 1997 and only ran for 3 years. They did have meet and greets out in the streets. And again, it was like a stage show mixing screens and live actors. That closed in the year 2000 and wasn't replaced all the way up until Transformers was built in 2013. They demolished the entire soundstage to make way for the new Transformers building, which you can see here.
Welcome to Nickelodeon Studios.
So Nickelodeon Studios closed in 2005.
Yeah.
And the Blue Man Group opened in 2007.
Yeah, and the Blue Man Group has been here ever since. We've never watched the show personally, but
I heard it's good.
Yes, I was here in 1999, so I do remember Nick Studios being here. I never really went in. I was a very small child.
I remember this building being orange,
yes,
at least.
Yes, I remember that much, but
I mean, I think this is where we're gonna end our vlog. If you like this video,
make sure to like,
comment,
and subscribe.
And ring the notification bell to know when we post our next videos.
And go support Murph.
Murph.
Goodbye. Bye. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Stuck in the water. Welcome back to Universal Studios.
Oh no.
Don't look back 6 feet away. Oh no, too slow.
No.